Thought you weren't watching TV up here.
Huh?
I thought you weren't watching TV up here.
I wasn't. I just came a little while ago to make pizza and eat it. And
Cool. I was wondering.
I don't even notice the air conditioners are on.
Yeah? Well, you would if you went upstairs.
If I went upstairs.
To the next level. Yeah.
Oh yeah, probably.
I'm putting it back on.
Just get home.
I thought you didn't watch House. Alright. You don't have to. No, I'm not staying
I
here.
just had it on while I was.
No, it's a good show.
It's not too bad.
No, we got the kids had a pool party and they're heading to my parents and I'm, Tanu's just heading back here. She just stayed a little longer.
You went out to dinner last night?
No, we stayed at Aronimink and had dinner.
Oh, I just noticed some napkins I thought.
We went our golf club we went and, it was hot dogs and nothing fancy, but yeah, I steal napkins everywhere I go, so.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
You didn't get away with it.
I get away with it all the time. The what? What is it? What is it? Where? No, I got that for this was, it's something I'm interested in. It was in my brother's room. He's away. It's actually, to be honest, you should read it. And then not read it, you'll never read it. But you should look at it because they're coming back in a couple days, like in a day or two. And, his wife is a bitch and stuff, so, if, she sees it's gone, she'll wig out.
Okay.
My point is, I picked it up because I wanted to look at it, but, you should look at it because it's about, I'm gonna read it out in a second. I thought it would be helpful for you and myself. In a day or two, but my point is, if you tonight were to read...
Oh, I love the quote by George Eliot.
Yeah, here's the deal.
Is
Right, exactly. So,
I'd like to think it's true.
well, again, Tom, you keep repeating the same thing. You'd like to think it's true.
Yeah.
It's true if you make it, if you say it's true. Don't you fucking get it about all these
Yeah,
things?
I do. I
No,
guess
but
I do.
no. I guess you do. This isn't a criticism. You say it all the time. Like whether it's about, I'm like, this is the way it is about like life, believing, and you'll be like, well, I hope I can. And it's like, yeah, and again, it's part of your problem. It's like Yoda. Yoda's like, there is no try. There is either do or not do. And it's like I hear it in everything you say, which is, I hope that's the case, or I hope I can do it. I hope there was a day and your heart's in the right place saying it. You just fail to realize that none of these things will ever come true, because as long as you have doubt, or as long as you think an externality will happen to make it so, it'll never happen. So in other words, what Shaw's saying is, it's never too late to become who you are, which isn't in whatever the fuck his name is. It's
Her name. George Eliot was a woman.
Whoever the person is. I don't give a fuck if they're Rasputin or Oliver Twist. It's about, the fact is, you have to become who you're going to be, which is a decision you make and you do it. You don't hope it, you become it. You don't say, well, I'm going to start and then, again, you're allowed to do that, but I guarantee you will fail. Guarantee you'll fail. So that's where, when I keep hearing you say it, and you just said it 3 times in a row, I'm like, no, don't do that. You're like, and you said it 3 different ways, which is ways that are just like it's not in your control. Like you hope it's in your control. You would love it to be in your control. You hope there's a day it's in your control, but it's not in your control. Like that, you say that, and that's you're certain about that. But of course, you hope one day. And my point is, it'll never be more in your control than today, ever. It will never be. Oh, you can only make it in your control by deciding to make it in your control. And if you're not deciding that today, it's not likely you're going to decide it ever. And I mean that. Once you get the knowledge that that's what it takes, you either choose to do it or you don't. So that's all I'm saying is that you have to decide whether or not you control it or not. And not just say it intellectually, you have to really believe it. If you don't believe it, you can't fool yourself. Truly, you're better off saying, you know what, I don't believe it, or I can't, whatever is the truth. It's better off to do that than to lie to yourself and say, because it won't work that way either. Like, you can't just fool yourself into thinking it. What it takes is a belief, however you come to that, through prayer, through faith, through intellectual, I don't know how you come to it from your point of view. All I'm saying is that it requires that total, unshakable belief, despite all evidence.
All right, so I can't just say it then. I have to think it, believe it.
You have to think it. But no, you have to say it and think it if it's true. And what happens is right now it might not be true. All I'm warning you about is that if you want to get better, if you want to reach your potential, if you want to be happy, it requires you to believe in that. And then after all that's done, to start on a very long, hard process of doing that thing that you want to do or be. So even planning the show doesn't make it so. You put the stage for you to do it. So it's a huge, it's so difficult. I'm not knocking you for it. I'm just saying, watch your language in that your language is telling. Your language speaks of it being beyond you. You're not in control. You're hoping that good things happen to you. You're hoping someday you get control of it. And I'm saying it's really in your control. And I hope someday you have a breakthrough and see it,
Me
it,
too.
feel it. Okay.
When you look at it objectively, though, it does seem unlikely at the age of 57 I'm going to start to look at things differently. Or at 58.
Then you never will. That's what I'm trying. That's all I'm trying to explain to you. Is that you just contradicted the quote. The quote said it's never
I
too
said when
late.
you look at it objectively.
Okay.
But you can look at it subjectively.
No. You think that quote is objective or subjective? That's an objective
That's
quote.
objective, yeah.
Yeah. You just said the opposite. You just said, you look at it objectively.
Well, when you look at my life objectively, I
Fine. And so I'm just saying that this is what you're going to have to swallow someday. You have no one to blame but yourself. I mean that. Because you have everyone to blame for certain things that have happened. You have everyone to blame for certain feelings you've endured. None of that's your fault. None of it. But you do have responsibility for how you react to it from this day forward, always. You always do. And you have to accept the responsibility. And that's where I'm just trying to explain to you, because you'll fall back on, oh, my life. You just said it right now. If you look at my life up until now, you think that that's relevant to the future. You keep doing it. It's like saying, I was on heroin for 2 years, so I'll never be a responsible father and a successful. It's like, dude, that has nothing to do with who I am anymore. That's like saying, when I was hyper successful in my Ivy League years, it means I'm going to be successful. It's like that didn't mean I was going to be successful. Being an addict doesn't mean I want to be. They're all irrelevant. All that's relevant is the moment and how I feel now.
I believe
and all that.
I can get around this.
Get around what?
This plague of mine, whatever.
Well,
Your addiction lasted 2 years, but this is a lifetime.
a lifetime of what though? A lifetime of you not believing in yourself and believing that you could do anything. So again, it's not a lifetime of it's a lifetime of an attitude.
At least it's puberty anyway.
What I'm trying to say to you is that you're saying that you've had a lifetime of thinking this way. Well, you're partly to blame for that, because while the things that put you in that position are not your fault at all, you are smart enough and you've been given enough information along the way, I would suppose, especially lately, that it is up to you to stop being a victim of that. Period.
I would like nothing better.
When you say that like a Christmas present, like you hope you get it. And I'm saying that no one gives you that, Tom. No pill will give it to you.
I know that.
You have to do it. So when you say you'd like nothing better,
Well, what would you do if terrible memories came into your head?
terrible memories come into my head all the time.
What do you do about them?
I get to work and I forget about them. I say this was meant to be. I was supposed to live this life. Those things that went wrong are all part of my journey. So what do you mean? They're
What
in.
if I'm reading a book and I hit a word and it sets me off? You know, this happens almost literally every day.
You then are, in my opinion, undisciplined as to your emotions. In other words, it's natural to do that, to have a set off, or to have a feeling, or to get depressed or anxious, or have anything that triggers you. That's all normal and natural.
I want to ignore it when it happens.
It's not about ignoring it. It's about saying, oh, I'm feeling this thing, and I control my thoughts. And I'm going to feel it, recognize it, release it, and move on. And I'm not going to give it any more power. I'm not going to dwell and obsess on it. I'm not going to, you don't dwell and obsess on the good things. So you are choosing to orient yourself and be focused on the negative. And I've said it time and time again, the objective is not to forget about the trauma. The point is to forget about giving it any effect on you. It's just like it's like when I see my ex-fiancés. I look at them and I'm like, I know what their name is. I know I lived with them. I know I was about to marry them. But I can't believe, because I don't feel any of the emotional thing. And whether it's love or whether it's even the trauma of us are breaking up. In other words, there was times when they were the center of my world, good or bad, right or wrong. They were just the big part of my life at that point. And then I look at them 10 years later, and I don't even recognize them. They're like a stranger to me. And I'm not doing it to be a hardened person. It's just the way it is, because I've learned that that it's not, it has no effect on me anymore. Good or bad. Whether it's someone that was very positive or negative, it's like it's over. I'm now, I've evolved past it. Now I'm here, and it's just like I'm here now. In a year or two, I'll look back at this, and no matter what good or bad thing happens here, it will not affect me in 2 years, because that's the whole point, is to be not affected by the trauma, not affected by the success. It's not like if I were to hit $1 million lottery, I don't want to be a person that gets happy because I've done that. Because then, the moment you take that money away, I'm not happy. Likewise, I don't want to be a person where when you hurt or I lose or I whatever, that I am destroyed. I want to be a person who, independent of the weather, so to speak, has a certain attitude. And the attitude is, I'm going to every day try to fulfill my potential, whatever that may be, and that the failure is in not doing that. The failure is not in the remuneration or adulation or consensus of who I am and what the value of my work is. It's not that. It's about me knowing deep inside, am I using my time well on earth? Am I writing? Am I creating? Am I reading? Am I learning? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you make money. It doesn't matter if, it matters, are you doing what you're supposed to do? And only you can answer that. Which is why I always say to you, Tom, I hope you're working harder, because here's your chance, without any financial pressures, to write a book or to learn about this or that on the internet or to get healthy. And to be honest, I worry about sometimes, this is just an observation by me, that you're spending time too much watching 4 hours Phillies games. Almost every game I feel is a waste of your time and of your talent and of your thing. Because if you were to spend those times writing, what could you accomplish in that time? A lot. Well, could you accomplish it with your health if you were to go walk? So
I write at a different time of day.
Listen, I know that, but then But okay, listen. This isn't about, you can choose to live your life any way you want while you live here, and certainly while you're not living here. I'm telling you that I'm not sure, because it's like me, with my pressures and everything like that. I used to love to watch TV, I used to watch TV all the time. And I'm just telling you from my experience that since I have the pressure of a time limit with the house pressures, and I have other children, I know that every day is so valuable.
Yeah.
And I don't have the luxury to slack off. You have more of a luxury to do that because you don't have the responsibilities of children, a wife, and a dad. So that's okay. But you have a responsibility to yourself.
I know.
Because you haven't done what you're capable of. You haven't gotten where you're capable. You're not happy in a holistic sense. Part of the joke of that message I left on your answering machine is because it's not about whether you have interest in it. It's about that, you should be a professor of literature. In terms of, that's one thing you're capable of, whether you choose it or not. You certainly could do that. I didn't say he's out, doing, it's like the joke of it is I'm saying what I are as an archetype, a professorial teacher. So that's part of that joke. So my whole thing is what do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want your life to be? And then are you pursuing it? And it's not answering to me to say you don't have to answer to me. You have to answer to yourself. And if you think you are, fine, Tom.
I know I'm not.
And don't be guilty.
Sometimes the words won't come.
And that's okay. But ready? It's not just about writing that, because I have 8 projects going at once, which I'm not saying is a good idea either. Because but there's a middle ground. So this idea of if you don't want to just write the novel,
Let me say something.
what are other things you can do?
Let me say something. because I've been talking about this to the shrink and everything, and he agrees with you on one thing, and I agree too, that I have to get out more.
Yes.
And I thought about what you said about going up to that coffee shop with the computer. I have to start getting used to people before I can work with them again.
Yeah.
I have to see more of them. And I want to do that. But I want to ask you about that. Do I have to take, I can unplug that computer and just plug it in up there?
When you do it the first time, I'll show you how to do it, okay?
What, you'll go with me?
I'll go with you, I'll set you up, and then I'll leave, and I'll, that's it, yes. And you can walk.
Well, I want to do that this week.
Okay, that's fine, no problem. Yeah. And then I think you should venture further and then go to Borders where there's more people. In other words, I like that place up there, and that's great.
Yeah, can you take a computer up there too? I guess you can, to Borders. Oh yeah, I've seen them in there. Yeah, because there's a coffee place there. I forgot about that.
Tom, we were there.
Huh?
We were there. In the mall.
Well, that was a different Borders. I was thinking of the one close by.
No, that's a Barnes and Noble.
Oh, that's Barnes and Noble.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm saying you should. I would, if I were you, I'd go to the Barnes and Noble, but I also go to the Borders because the Borders is in the mall. There's a lot more people. You might meet if you get over yourself. You might meet someone to put in a job application. They're the spot. Why not? You never know. All I'm saying is though, yes, you do need to get out. Yeah, you need to just do more with your time, and you need to push yourself more. I guess is all I'm saying. And I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm saying just do more because I gave you a lot of space. After your trauma, August to May, May to June, June to July. It's now about 100 days since you came here, and you're comfortable. And I want you to be comfortable, at ease, not freaking out, and that's all good. I think, though, it's time that you challenge yourself.
Yeah.
That's all. And that's all. Because that's the only way for you to do something extraordinary. You can't do anything extraordinary when it's easy. My time, the time that I grew least was when I had the most money and the least pressure. That's when now that I have no money and every pressure, I have done better work. I've worked, yes, it's hard, it's overwhelming sometimes, but it's like it's like a diamond. It's like a coal, and pressure on the coal creates a diamond. It's like there's a reason for it. So I just feel like that's something you should consider. Is that you should push yourself more, not physically, because you don't have a heart attack. Go out, walk, write your book, get into the internet. One thing I'm going to do is I am, going to leave out the internet on my Macintosh down there, on the browser. So, when you're up late and I'm not up there.
I want to ask about that. I was just wondering, to learn the internet more, there's a place not far from where I in downtown where I go, that I could go for free.
Okay.
To learn
computers.
Do it.
Do
I
it.
guess the internet would be included.
Great idea.
In that. I don't know.
Except what I'm trying to explain, and I say do it. But, Tom, on the computer, all the internet is Google. Okay? It just turned out that way. And Google is up. And you type in what you're interested in, whatever that fucking may be, whatever it is. And then all these websites come up, which one subject, if you put lawnmowers in, you would get about 500,000 websites. And it would take you a lifetime to go through lawnmowers.
Right.
So I'm explaining to you that there's not much to understand, okay? It is a search engine, which it means you search, the results come up. You click it, anything underline's clickable, you click it,
So
it takes you to the website.
the first thing you do after the computer comes on.
No, it's on all the time. My computer never turns off. You walk up to it, the
Well,
browser.
the one I have downstairs, for example, if I unplugged that and took it somewhere else, I'd have to turn it on.
No,
wouldn't I?
you wouldn't, because the battery runs. It's on. You'd have to
Okay.
plug it back in to keep it running long term, but no, it runs. And the internet's separate. The internet, that computer's got an internet problem. I'm not talking about that.
Alright, well then anyway, as soon as I open it up. You
No,
see it's
not as
already-
soon as up it goes.
Well,
I'm
I
talking
just
about the
wanna know
Apple.
what the first thing to do is.
Apple, on my machine, I'm going to leave the screen up. So you can go, sit on my chair, and it's there. And all you have to do is type in to Google what you're interested in,
When
and
you say type in Google, no, you don't type in Google. But how
Google
do you
will
get
be
Google?
up.
How do you
Will
get-
be up.
It'll
It'll
be up
be
already.
there.
It'll be there.
Yes.
So you don't hit anything before you type.
You just
type
write it into the search, and then you press search.
Enter.
Or enter, whatever. And then you click with your mouse on what you want.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's it. That's the internet. Period.
All
End
right.
of the story.
Yeah.
Yes, you can type in Drudge Report. You can type in CNN.com. You can type in all addresses on the top. But Google will get you anywhere. You click on things. Clicking is everything. And again, no one ever taught me the internet ever. I learned it when I was 27, which isn't like a kid learning it when they're I learned it when I was an adult. It's intuitive. It's like and it happened to my mom today. It's
Could
like,
I do it on that little computer down there?
no, that is not connected. It's got a problem. So
Okay.
ignore that. Forget that. Do your writing on that. Alright? I'm explaining to you that I'm going to leave my computer up and on where it's on, it's a comfortable chair, you sit there and you can surf, it's called surfing the web, you just do it, you just put in something, and it comes up as all these websites, you click one that looks interesting, and then you're done with it, you go back, there's a back button, I mean, again, it's intuitive.
Okay, and
Fine,
when you're done
Asha
with
can
it,
operate
when
it.
you're done with it,
You
how do
walk
get-
away,
But how do you get rid of it?
you just get rid of it.
What you just looked at?
Why do you have to get rid of it?
I don't know, don't you want to turn it off or something?
No, I just told you it's on all the time.
Okay,
Does that not make sense? I just said it was on all the time.
but if you want to get from like one thing to another
I
thing.
just said there's a back, it's intuitive. There is a stop button, there's a back button, there's a forward button. What does that imply? If back means go back to the site you
Right,
just
right,
at.
right. Okay.
Forward means go back to the forward thing. It's like, it's, again, intuitive.
Okay.
And again, it's like my mother did it today. Like, they won't, her thing, it wasn't up there. She's like, my computer isn't working. And it's like, if she's the same as you, and she's my father. They don't take a minute to look at the fucking screen and to think and use their brain.
Okay.
The brain says, it says Gmail right there, and if they were to look at it closely, they would realize that the tab is up, and they click that, and it would bring them there. What happens is you, my dad, my mom, you look at it, I don't know what to do,
Okay, wait.
call for help. Like,
All right, wait a minute.
it's
Would
ridiculous.
you mind if I tried that tonight on your thing downstairs?
No, I don't mind it. No, I don't mind it.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do then.
I'll put it on, when I come
No,
down.
it's not on.
I mean, it is on, actually. I don't know if it's set up on Google. I doubt that you will, again, even if I told you to type in Google, you probably wouldn't do it because, you don't feel confident enough. But it's that simple. And then, I'll put up Google and you'll try it. What will annoy me is only not that you have any trouble with it, but that you do not try to figure it out. I mean, these web browsers have evolved, and Asha can go on the internet and do everything. And what does that mean? You know what that means? She doesn't think she can't do it, so she can do it. You think you can't do it. You think, I don't know this.
I think I can learn to do it.
I know, but my point is that when you run up against something you don't understand, you know what Asha does? Asha just figures it out like a child does, because they don't know any better. You know help. It's like Tom Moyer, learned
I
helplessness.
have been afraid of ruining something.
There's nothing to ruin. Period. I will say it fucking 100 times.
Okay.
There's nothing to ruin, right? You're not going to ruin anything by trying to
We're
click on
losing
things.
something that's on there.
You're not gonna lose anything, it's impossible.
Okay.
You know, again, and that statement is like a fear-based statement. It's like, you know, oh, I'm gonna screw it up. You're not gonna screw it up. Stop thinking you're gonna screw things up. Stop being negative. Stop thinking you can't. Like, think that you can. Think that I can solve this puzzle. I'm stuck here, but I will figure it out. That's what I'm trying to explain. Like, again, with my lawsuits, there's so much I didn't understand. I didn't ask anybody. I mean, literally, I remember asking Jason in the beginning, and he didn't have the answer because he didn't know about it. And Tanuja is the lawyer. She doesn't know it. And it's like, well, guess what? I have to answer it myself. And I found out the answers to everything because the answers are all out there. And so I guess I'm saying this, the same applies to you, metaphorically and literally. The answers are on the internet, and the answers to, you know, the cursor not working. That's, you know, that's a challenge for you to use your brain and figure it out. And every time I have forced you to solve the problem yourself, you have solved every one. It's happened maybe 4 times where I'm like, I'm not going to explain it to you. I'm going to give you a clue as to the fact that you're, you know, whatever I'll do. And then once you feel comfortable, you think, and then you solve the problem, which proves to me I'm right. I'm right that you can solve it, and that it's an emotional thing. And same with my mother, and same with my father. Like, they have the same problem you have. They're not stupid at all. They just believe they can't, so they can't. And they have no belief that they can figure it out. And if it's not, it's just like today, my mom was on like Facebook, and I'm just like, here, Facebook's right here. She's like, no. When I go Facebook, I'm logged in. I'm like, well, you're not logged in, so just log in. Put your email and your password in. No, it's always that. It's always done. When I'm there, it's always logged in. It's like, fucking lady, put your fucking, see what it says? Log in, put your email address in. Like, she won't read it. She refuses because, you know why? It's not the way it always is. So she can't handle it. It's
Well,
like,
that's logical to me. If it's not the way it always is, it seems to me it should be always the same way. I don't know. I don't know anything
so
about
life, that's the way life is for you?
With the internet, I would think. I think there's certain rules, aren't there? I don't know.
You don't know anything about the internet.
No, I
How
don't
do you
know anything
know?
about it, but that's why you think that. Because you don't know.
Tom, is life, you've lived life for 7 years. Is life like that? Does life every day is the same? No, life throws you curveball after
I
curveball.
don't know that about the internet, though. I mean, there are certain machines.
What I'm trying to explain to you,
They have rules, and you stick to the rules.
you don't know, why are you saying this to me? You have no idea how things work on the internet, so why are you saying that?
I'm just assuming that because
Why are you
like,
assuming
a
that?
washing machine works in a certain way, you know, and
That's not true. A
A car
washing
works
machine,
in a certain way.
that's not true. You're wrong about both of those things. A washing machine has cold, warm, and hot. Okay, you have to have some knowledge or figure out which setting to put it on. Okay, to start a car, there's automatic and there's a manual. Okay, you have to, and again, you could be told what to do, or you could figure it out. There are people that if you put into a stick shift car, would figure it out, and there's people that would just say, I have no idea what to do, and they would never move an inch. I assert that that's an attitudinal issue, because we all have ignorances all the time about everything, and are you a person who says, oh, I'm ignorant of this, and I'm going to use my brain to figure it out, and I don't care if it takes me a minute or an hour or a day or a week or a month, I want to figure it out. Or am I going to be someone who just says, you know, it's like, remember, give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man a fish, feed him for a lifetime. You know, make yourself someone who is capable of learning anything you want all the time. It doesn't mean that you won't have problems. It just means you won't be needy and dependent on people. And you also will have more confidence in yourself. Once you start to solve this problem and that problem, then it's like there's no problem you can't solve. So it's all metaphorical. It's like the internet is like anything, you know. I mean, you can do it, and you know you wrote. I keep trying to like get your book published, which again, what surprises me is you're not like hyper enthusiastic. I can't understand that why.
I don't want you to do it.
Because you think a million people are going to read it, and what?
No, I didn't say a million.
Then what's the problem with publishing it, Tom?
Because I want to finish it my way first.
When's that going to be?
I think this book I'm writing now is going to be finished before that one.
Tom, you will not be finished this novel for 2 years.
That might not be true.
Okay. Tom,
It's not going to be a long novel.
Then it won't be a novel. It's got to be
Yes, it will.
100,000 words.
Well, then it'll be a novella.
Then it's not a novel. Then you're not. You still haven't written a novel. You're 57 years old. You'll be 60 and written a novel.
A novella is still a novel. It's a short
It's
novel.
not a novel. Don't lie to yourself. It's not. And guess what? You don't have to write a novel. You've written this book. I've said to you, print the fucking thing and then keep working on it. No one's denied you your opportunity to make your vision. What I've said to you is get the fucking thing done and out, because it will show you that it's doable. It'll prove to you that it's and guess what? I think you're wrong to continue down the road of going, if you've written enough words to make a coffee table book about actors and movies, just fucking jumble them up and fucking publish it. And then publish another one if it's successful. Or if it's not successful. The idea that you say, I don't want you to do it because it's not done, is, guess what? It's you lying to you and me. It's saying I'm afraid of publishing.
I'm absolutely being truthful about that.
But you may be being truthful, but you don't understand what you're saying. You're saying it because you're scared. Why? You've written, let's say 60%. Let's say you've written 60% of your book. Let's say, because you're alphabetical, you've only gotten 60%
It's
way
not
through.
60%.
How many percent?
Not even 40.
40, fine, 40%, okay? Is the 40% you wrote good?
Yeah, I think so.
Then why not publish it? Why not? Tell me why.
Because it's not my conception. My conception is for it to be complete.